Combination.
One combination of small PDQ and capital PDQ will run for a couple of hours. Okay.
Wow.
Whereas if you only want to try ARIMA with these parameters with only small, that runs within minutes. That's not a problem. Okay. That is something you have to start with. So these models took a lot of time for me to figure out, compute, and then rerun and things like that. Okay.
So ஒரு question எனக்கு அப்ப seasonality வந்து அந்த seasonality period வந்து it will automatically identify இல்ல
That is
we
also
have
a hyperparameter. Okay. One more
okay.
hyperparameter you have to choose.
M-ன்றது அதுதானோ?
M-ன்றது வந்து yes. M is the frequency of it.
Frequency or number of observations per seasonal cycle. Oh, okay, makes sense.
Okay. So with this knowledge, we can go into this back to this things. So I have coded this. For example, optimize ARIMA. It will choose the different. It will obviously select from this combinations, select different models, and then return all the AIC values. அதான் பண்ணும். ஓகேவா? As simple as that. So நம்ம first என்ன பண்றோம்னா, we are selecting. P க்கு ஒரு range select பண்றோம், Q க்கு ஒரு range select பண்றோம், D we know it is 2 is the best. Then it do. First capital P's and capital keys we are keeping close, and then first we are finding what is the best combination of P and Q to use. Okay, first then we run with it, then we get all the AAC values of all these different combinations. We know that the value of 2 3 is the best one. Okay, first
Okay, so it says PQ. D வந்து எவ்வளோ?
D we are using 2. D is we are using small
okay.
d. Here we are only optimizing the ARIMA, not the SARIMA here. Okay,
Okay.
we are not including any seasonality. First we understand what is the best hyperparameters for this whole model ARIMA. We found out that the values are 2 3 and obviously D is 2. Okay, adikta smallest AIC value irukku. Other combinations, for example, if you have a 0 0 0 0,
The highest.
AIC value is highest. Obviously it doesn't know anything. Okay, then we go and run it for different P's. Okay, we set the P and Q's to 2 and 3, small d is 2, capital D I kept it 1. But
Okay.
this is an hyperparameter, you can play around with it as well. But obviously there is a limitation that each run takes.
So இப்ப வந்து frequency எவ்வளவு வச்சிருக்கீங்க இதுல M?
Frequency I set it to 60, which is 3 months.
Okay. 3 months.
3 months,
2
maybe
months.
one quarter.
Oh,
Actually,
20 days என்ன?
20 days only we have every month. So
சரி.
approximately 60 days. But I think this is something you can choose as well. But even 1 month seasonality is also fine. It will figure it out on its own, is what I expect. Okay.
அப்படியா? நான் நினைச்சேன்.
Yeah, I think I will go to the result, which is not very surprisingly great. But let's look at this. At least this is the process.
புரியுது.
We will discuss how we can make it even better. But at least this is the process. First you optimize for small p's, then you optimize for big p's and q's. You set again, these are all hyperparameters you can tune. Again, the main limiting factor is that these take a lot of time to run.
Okay. So இப்ப வந்து big P and big Q நீ மாத்துறதுனால this will run for a longer time for every combination.
Yes, these things run for a long. Each one takes an hour. So we have a combination of 4 combinations here for capital P and Q. So it will run for 4 hours. You should be happy to wait. Okay. Once we go with it, then we figure out that the good combination of AICs for P and Qs, which seems to be 0 and 1. Determine this is the best value. So I have to plot the diagnostics. Obviously, if it is we can plot all the diagnostic of it. It is a very low noise now. It is a good fit. It looks like a good Gaussian curve. Everything looks fine. And once we do the predictions, we can look at the
என்ன diagnostics இது எனக்கு புரியல எனக்கு. என்னென்ன kind of.
So this is the diagnostic for any models actually. Whatever you do a model, data model எப்படி நல்லா fit பண்றதுக்கான the diagnostics actually. Here residuals of C வந்து எவ்வளவு நாய்ஸ் இருக்கு அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு actually.
Okay.
Here the histogram வந்து it should be a Gaussian. If it is a very good Gaussian curve, means that it is fitted very well. Okay, I understand it fully. But this again, this theoretical quantiles, if this is if the points are very close to the straight lines, only deviation in the edges, then it means a good fit. Actually, the model is able to fit it in a good way. Okay.
Okay.
We'll look at it in a different way, then we'll understand how it is different for Apple and Tesla. We have other things.
சரி சரி
We
சரி
can compare and contrast. So இப்போ predict பண்றதை நம்ம plot பண்ணி பார்ப்போம். Obviously data organize. So this is the plotted value. Okay. This is the
Okay.
actual value. Actual value is in blue. The naive seasonal is in red. Seasonalனா last seasonல என்ன இருக்குதோ அதை அப்படியே copy paste பண்றோம். Okay. We can, whatever happened in the last season, we just copy paste it. Whatever happened in the last 60 days, we
Copy.
just copy
புரியுது.
paste it. That's the naive seasonal. Sarima is the one we have here, which is in black. Okay. Sarima is the seasonal one. Obviously, if you look at Arima, it just predicted a straight line. Or ரொம்ப ups and downsலாம் கம்மியா இருந்தது. இங்க பாத்தீங்கன்னா it is able to follow the seasonality here. Last seasonல என்ன நடந்ததோ at least it is able to repeat it.
And it is maintaining the trend also.
It is obviously it's good thing. Yeah, that's a very good point noted actually. In the trend இருக்கு, இந்த last 60 days trend இருக்கு இல்லையா, it is able to catch on the trend and do something
I
which
wouldn't
is
say last 60 days also. ஏன்னா முன்னாடி நீ வந்து even the larger trend பாத்தீங்கன்னா it's always on the rise இல்ல.
So if you look at the larger trend is on the rise, but
And
it is actually looking at the past trends it is catching up the past trends very clearly. இந்த trend நல்லா ஃபாலோ பண்ணுது. இந்த trend ஃபாலோ பண்ணி அப்படியே catch up பண்ணி பெருசாதுன்னு காட்டுது. Which is logically looks good. But this is not what actually happened. Obviously, this is a very naive model. It doesn't know everything.
yeah. Like there are other conditions which will hamper, but எனக்கு வந்து at least visual பாக்குறப்ப this is convincing. Like
Yes.
it is doing something. It is learning something ன்னு தெரியுது. Like it has learned something from the past and it is using it in the future.
Yes, very good, very good. I think one of the important points I noted is that I think in this time series, we are trying to predict next 60 days. Almost next 3 months of what the stock is going to be. Which is always going to be very, very difficult. For example, நம்ம climate prediction எல்லாம் பார்த்துட்டோம்னா, they are trying to predict only the next 10 days. And these models with so much physics and science can only predict very good up to only next 10 days. So maybe we should shorten this window to a next 10 days and try to predict எனக்கு தோணுது. Maybe we can try it next time. Maybe we are trying to predict too much out of it எனக்கு தோணுது.
இல்ல ஐ திங்க் இது வந்து நம்ம இந்த ஆட்டோ ரிக்ரெசிவ் மாடல்ன்றதுனால இட் இஸ் ஜஸ்ட் யூசிங் த பாஸ்ட் இன்ஃபர்மேஷன் டு predict the future இல்ல.
Yes.
I think this is doing a good job of predicting from the past what will be the future. So அது எனக்கு தெரிஞ்சு it's doing a very good job.
Yes.
So using the window, I am not that great a fan, but yeah, it may produce like something different. But my point is, I think the next step I would think about is how do you add other combinations along to like what are the other features you can start adding?
Very good, very good.
Will actually improve the prediction to the blue. அதுதான் எனக்கு வந்து I think will be more interesting to know.
Yes, that is something called SARIMAX. We can come to it next. Okay, but let's finish this with looking at how this is. I am more convinced with the Walmart. At least the Walmart data வந்து, I would have believed this. For example, someone has told me this is going to be the price of Walmart, I would have believed them. So let's look at the thing. Let's look at Apple and Tesla, how it does. Then we will get a better understanding. Again, going to this is Apple's data. Apple dataலையும் எதுவும் seasonality இருக்கிற மாதிரி எனக்கு தெரியல across years. But let's try it out. I'm not going to show you all the things. Again, it said that 2.3 is the best small PQ value, and 2.301 seems to be the better value for seasonality. Okay. Again, here, pathina, residual histograms are very similar. It seems to fit the straight line, very similar to what we have Walmart. Maina, let's go into the picture actually. If you go into the picture, actually, the price of Apple stock increased in the last 3 months, mainly because of the AI boom. Obviously, it's not capturing it very well. The red is the naive seasonal. We can skip it. But the black shows that is the SARIMA's prediction. I kind of like this SARIMA prediction even better than what it predicted for Walmart. ஏன்னா the short window எடுத்துக்கிட்டீங்கன்னா it is predicting nicely that this is going down. Uh, so I'm a bit more comfortable with this. But obviously what happened with the AI boom, it's simply, I don't think so this model can know that this has happened.
Very
It
true.
has climbed up and up. So I kind of like it.
நல்லா இருக்கு பாக்கிறதுக்கு. though it is we are still not reached the target, like நம்ம இன்னும் predicted the actual values match ஆவாட்டியும், when you see that the model is performing something which is
reasonable, which
reasonable.
for a common sense person this makes sense.
Mm.
So that's what I say. I would say if you are climbing a Mount Everest, we are pretty much at the base camp. Base camp பக்கமே base camp பக்கத்துல போயிட்டு இருக்கோம்னு எனக்கு தோணுது. We have a long way to go. But these models are still good. These are very basic models, just using time series data, and these seems to do good prediction. It's not so bad actually. Again, let's go to Tesla, which is the more crazy stock. So I figure out obviously இதுல ஏதாவது seasonality இருக்கா அப்படின்னா I don't see any seasonality. But once we saw how it predicted, maybe we'll get a better intuition. Again, same thing. We optimize everything. We get um, similar results actually. If you look at the results of it, this is even better. Actual is the blue. Obviously, the downtrend was picked up. This downtrend is mainly due to COVID, and then it picked up with the AI boom. So this model doesn't know anything of that. And see, it is picking up the short trend.
Tesla இருக்கவங்க எல்லாம் பயந்துருப்பாங்க.
Minus 300, it can't go. See, in the model, it doesn't understand that it can't go in the minus.
இல்ல அது it's just numbers, an interpolation, extrapolation.
Numbers. But simply it has gone down to 0 based on this short-term term. நான் என்ன நினைக்கிறேன்னா, it is picking this because it's a seasonal model. It is picking up the last season's model for its main data. Last seasonல என்ன நடந்ததோ அது பிக்கப் பண்ணுதுன்னு எனக்கு நல்லா தோணுது. ஏன்னா சீசன்ல பாத்தீங்கன்னா there is a huge drop. அதை அப்படியே அது கண்டினியூ பண்ணிடுது. It is same for both Apple and Walmart. Last seasonல last 60 daysல என்ன நடந்திருக்கோ அதை ஃபாலோ பண்ணுது ஆக்சுவலா because of seasonality. Same with Walmart. I think it's picking up from the last seasonal data and then just following the trend.
Window size என்ன சொன்ன நீ?
I fixed it at 60. Frequency of 60, which is close to 3 months. So it's trying to predict.
Probably அதுதான் எடுத்துக்குதான் நம்ம.
Yes,
like
yes.
it is predicting 60 days and then.
Yeah, this is what I mentioned. I think we should reduce this frequency to maybe 10 days or try to predict only 10 days. Maybe we are expecting the model to predict for next 6 months is very difficult for itself. We are expecting too much out of it. Maybe try to predict the next 10 days correctly is what we can expect. Very interesting, yeah, Sarima.
P and Q controls the window size. So
P and Q controls the window size. Yes.
ஆமா. So நீ வந்து P and Q ரொம்ப சின்னதா வச்சிருக்கப்ப, you are actually not looking at a larger, even though you have a big data, you are effectively looking at only a small portion of the big data.
No, I think you should not look. Yeah, that's true. I agree actually. We can increase the number of P and Qs so that it can go larger. That's a very good idea actually.
We'll continue this.
We'll continue with this next time. Yes. But at least for this SARIMA, it seems to pick up short-term trends.
These are fantastic plots. I'm very intrigued by how these things work now.
Yes.
I have to